The Buddhist sermon for today is given by the Venerable Piyarathana Thero.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear friends in Dharma, today I would like to discuss the goals of Buddhist life. So, we are having a generation of Buddhists, so-called Buddhists, because we have become Buddhists by birth, and we have taken our Buddhist life for granted, and it is a birth right or birth, the Buddhistness coming from our birth. So, because we have long history and long traditions, now we have bounded by these traditions, and also we are just practicing the customs, rituals, and other things we have given or we were learned from our parents, grandparents, and we will just continue whatever the traditions that pass down from our generation to generation. So in this process, that our spirit of Buddhism, I doubt and I suspect, has gone down, and the spirit has gone down, and the rituals and rites are still there. So in Buddhism, there are many ways to, and also many teachings in the Buddha's teaching which encourage us to investigate and also search, and if it is good for us, then only Buddha asks us to follow or to practice. In Kalama Sutta, Buddha said that we cannot, merely because something coming passed down from generation to generation, merely because some teachings is applicable to your theory or your logic or to your custom or to your tradition, you cannot continue or follow just because these traditions are coming down. So we need to study Buddhism very well and also investigate and apply these Buddhist principles into our life. So when we have goals, goal is a vision where you want to be or where in future you want to achieve, and measure your progress for knowing where you are and where you want to go. So this is the very important thing. If we do not know where we are going, where we are heading, then our life is aimless or goalless. We don't have any aim, we don't have any goal. So we need to understand what is the purpose or what is the basic teachings of the Buddha, and why we should follow the Buddha's teaching, and what are the benefits we can gain, we can achieve, we can use by practicing Buddhism. Some people expect that by practicing, and also the Buddhist religious clergy or the Buddhist religious leaders should support the devotees materially. Some people are saying, we don't get anything from the temple. We just get only preaching. So some people expect the material support to their day-to-day life. But basic duty of the Buddhist monks and the Buddhist order is to impart the teachings of the Buddha and enrich their lives, especially spiritually, and allow them to cultivate and develop their spiritual wealth, spiritual gains. That is why the Buddha's core teaching is mentioned the verse Sabbha Papassa Akaranang Kusalassa Upasampada Sachitta Pariyo Dhapanang Etang Buddhana Sasanang. So there are three main purposes in Buddha's teaching. The first goal is to do no harm, do no evil, wicked, unwholesome, bad deeds. Papasa akaranang. You should not do any unwholesome, wicked, cruel deeds. And also, kusalassa upasampada. You must develop wholesome, nice, kind, very good, meritorious deeds in your life. And it is quite difficult for us to do good, wholesome, nice deeds. But we must make effort. We must make effort to avoid doing bad things. It is also not easy. Doing bad things is very easy. But refraining, abstaining from doing bad is quite difficult. But we should not give up. We should not become lethargic. We should not become very lazy and just lie down idle and neglect our spiritual journey, neglect our spiritual progress. The third goal in Buddhism is to purify one's mind. So purifying one's mind is the best, the most important teachings, core teaching of the Buddha. We need to purify our mind. Can we purify our mind through using soap, using detergent, using some kind of washing liquid? No, we cannot wash our sins. We cannot cleanse our sins or bad, unwholesome deeds using chemicals. There's a way, there's a method, there's a special procedure we should follow in order to clean our mind, in order to cleanse our impure, wicked, bad thoughts arising in our mind. That is called meditation. Meditation is the best way to clean our mind. Generosity is also one of the best way to clean our mind. And observing precepts also is the one of the best way to clean our mind. Out of these three things, meditations like breathing meditation, anapanasati, and meditation like loving kindness are also very, very important meditation techniques we can use in our day-to-day life. Therefore, friends, we need to understand our three goals as Buddhists is to avoid from doing bad and also developing good qualities, good virtues, developing wholesome deeds, and finally to purify our mind. The Buddha said, we need to be lamb to ourselves and live our life and give our light to the others. So if you are living in dark place, nowadays we know we have power cuts, and most of the evening times, maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hours, you will be in dark. So Buddha said, Andhakarena onaddha padipanna gavesata. Why are you just lying down, just stay in darkness? Why don't you light a lamp and give light to yourself and also give light to others? Here the light is a symbol, is a representation of our inner wisdom, representation of our inner knowledge. So we need to develop our light of wisdom. That light of wisdom can enlighten, can give lights to the others' lives. So Buddha said there are 4 types of persons in the world. Who are these 4 types of persons? One person, their life, their habits, their nature, their behavior is as such. They go from darkness to darkness. They are having black, unwholesome, bad karma, and they do more and more dark, bad, unwholesome karma. That gives rise to bad results, bad fruits of the karma, and they are going from this dark life, maybe poor, very ignorant, very bad in the society, in the lowest strata in the society, and they, once they die, they might reborn even worse situation than now, because their behavior, their thinking, their speech, all is unwholesome. Because of that, these persons are called persons who are going from darkness to darkness. Then there are another category of people. They are going from darkness to brightness or light. Those are the people, maybe they are born very poor, they are born very innocent, they are living in very harsh conditions. Even though, despite these harsh conditions, very difficult situations, they try to practice little bit of generosity. They try to practice refraining from killing, stealing, lying, sexual misconduct, and drugs. And in that way, they cultivate their mind and they will go from darkness to brightness. That is the thing we need to do in our life. In our life, we should not waste this life. Most of the people do not understand the value of the life. Therefore, they go from darkness to darkness. But the second person goes from darkness to brightness. The third person go from brightness to the darkness. Let us say this person is born to a good family. They have a good education, good food to eat, good social relationships. Well-known persons are their family, friends and relatives. But they do not use this opportunity, use their wisdom, use their knowledge to do more and more meritorious deeds. They will do more and more bad deeds. They will do more and more wicked, cruel, harmful, unwholesome deeds. Because of this very bad behavior, they will go from brightness to darkness. Then there's another set of people. These people also goes from brightness to brightness. These people born into good families, have good education, they will have good knowledge about the society, they will have good relationship with the society, but they do not misuse, abuse or abuse their senses, abuse their time, abuse their resources to do unwholesome, bad, wicked, cruel deeds. Instead, they will use every opportunity, every instances they are having to do more merits, to do more wholesome deeds, help others, practice generosity, practice meditation, so they will go from brightness to brightness. Therefore, we need to use many goals in our lives. So in Buddhism, if you are Buddhist, you should not be poor. You should try to work hard, have goals, have savings, and try to come out of this trap of poverty, this sad, very difficult situation. Buddha never said that poverty is a blessing. Buddha said poverty is a suffering. Therefore, you must make effort. Try to overcome the poverty through working hard, saving what you have earned without wasting your things. So the Buddhist should have a good goal to get rich physically, materially. But it is not enough to get rich materially. Also, we need to get rich in our spiritual life, in spiritual qualities, in spiritual virtues. We need to develop these spiritual faculties, spiritual qualities. Buddha also said we should to have these 4 kinds of comforts, 4 kinds of happiness as Buddhists. The first kinds of happiness is the ananasukha. Nowadays, we are undergoing an economic disaster, economic difficulty, so people have to get loans. When you get loans from the government banks or the private banks or private lenders, it's quite really suffering. We need to pay back. So, if a person can be free from all these debts, then his life is happier. So, as Buddhists, we should work hard so that manage our spendings, manage our income, and not to get into the trap of debts. If you are in a trap of debts, it's very difficult to get out of it because you have to pay so much money for the interest. And so you don't have or left over any money for your own comfort, for your own happiness. Then the second happiness we try to achieve is the attisukha. So we must work hard, and the happiness of possession of wealth, possession of property. As lay people, you should work hard to gain properties, to gain wealth, so that you can enjoy your life. You have a nice house to live, nice food to eat, nice car to ride, nice places to visit, and nice school for your children to send. So these all are the happiness coming from the possession of wealth and possession of property. Some people earn so well, save so well, they have enormous amount of money and wealth, property, but they don't know how to enjoy this property. The third one is called bhoga sukha. One should be able to enjoy the possessions he have. Some people buy good sofa, good car, they are just lying down in the garage, maybe they will walking in the street or using tuk-tuk. They will never enjoy the possessions, the benefits, the comforts they have. Just they are keep postponing, I will use it for a special occasion or a special journey instead of using the car. So it is good for us to enjoy our possession. The fourth one is anavajja sukha. This is the very important wealth to abstain from doing unwholesome deeds, unwholesome actions, unwholesome words, so that you can be enriched by your behavior, enriched by your thoughts, enriched by your words. So this is called the spiritual wealth we need to gain and practice. And when you look back at your life, how you spend your life, you can be very happy because you haven't done any wrong, you haven't committed any crime, you haven't committed any unwholesome deeds. So it is a spotless character you have, spotless behavior you have. so that you can be very happy that my life is so fruitful, my life is so meaningful, I didn't waste my time, I used my time for the benefit of myself and others. And also, especially we must make a goal to make others happy. This is also very important, good goal for the Buddhists. Buddha said, when you have money, you can do two things. One is to spend for your happiness, and you can spend that money for the happiness of others. So it is very important part of our life for us to make others happy by helping poor. Nowadays, so many people going hunger. You may have so much money, so why don't you spend just buy a bag of rice, buy a kilo of dal, or some rice, grains, and just find out the poorest family in your village, in your area, and go and support them, help them. Now there's malnutrition, and so many children are falling down in the school assembly. So we need to help those poor people who cannot afford because the prices has gone up. So it is one of our duty to make others happy, spending our money for the happiness of others. And also another very important duty, the goal the Buddhists should have, they should spread the truth, the noble truths of the Buddha, the teachings of the Buddha among the other human beings. This is also very important duty of our Buddhists. But they never do this duty. They think as long as I practice, as long as I know Buddhism, that is enough. No. If you get very tasty thing, if you get very precious thing, you should not become very selfish and enjoy yourself. You must share it with the other people. So spreading the words of the Buddha, teachings of the Buddha, is very important goal for Buddhists among the other human beings. There are other happiness in the world. That is the happiness of getting rid of your asavas or intoxicating impulses. We have so many desires, so many greeds, so many cravings, so many longings. So we need to try to reduce these cravings, these desires. We try to control them. We try to reduce them. We try to eliminate these cravings. These also one of the happiness we can gain by practicing to reduce our asavas. And also, if we also must try to become noble ones, Aryan ones, by following the Noble Eightfold Path. So there is another goal that the happiness arising from higher level of mental cultivation, and this is called piti. Especially when you try to reach jhanic states, if you do meditation, if you try to develop into jhanic states, then you can develop more and more higher happiness in your mind. And also the main goal of the Buddhist is to achieve the awakening, achieve the enlightenment, and to relieve from suffering. So we try to relieve suffering from ourselves, the sufferings we are undergoing, and also we must try to relieve the sufferings of other beings, human beings, our neighbors, our friends, our fellow people in our village, in our city, in our country. Whatever, even little things you can do, you must do to relieve the sufferings of yourself and also the suffering of the others. And also the growth in the spiritual practice. We must not try to compare with others. Try to be better version of you. We always try to compare others with the neighbors, with our classmates, with our friends. But the best comparison, if you want to do, try to compare yourself with your previous yourself and try to bring out the best version of yourself. That is the best thing to achieve as good goals for the Buddhist. So there are other three kinds of goals for the Buddhist path in Buddhism. That is sila, try to observe more and more sila, virtue. Then the samadhi, concentration, through meditation. And the last one is called panya, or the wisdom. So sila has many aspects, like refraining from killing, refraining from stealing, refraining from sexual misconduct, and right speech, truthful words, kind speech, and also right action, right livelihood. These are the many goals we have in Buddhism. So therefore, friends, as Buddhists, we have so many goals to progress, from material progress to spiritual progress. We need to balance the material progress as well as spiritual progress. If we cannot balance these both sides of our life is not successful. Therefore, dear Buddhists, dear friends, in Dhamma, let us try to develop more and more good goals in our life, the goals set by the Buddha for us to follow. By developing these goals, may we be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha protect you, guide you, and bless you. Namo Buddhaya.
The Buddhist sermon for today was given by the Venerable Piyarathana Thero.